one of the roster, like the roster lineup changes that I was suggesting was to change our mid jungle. And you might be surprised, like, wow, you know, change Selfmade? Are you insane? It's like, no. He's a very strong player individually. He's one of the best junglers in Europe to play selfishly. But when it comes to playing selflessly, I've personally had a very hard time getting him to understand the view of the game that I want him to have in order to play selflessly.
Interesting.
And this is why, like, it was funny to me when you said, like, you didn't really, or that I sit back and watch things happen, as I used to. But I learned that, like, this ends in me having a team that I don't really like. And that was the problem I had this last year, is that I didn't feel like our team was connected whatsoever, right? This is not a surprise to anyone. This is not a surprise to anyone, right? And I don't want to have my last year in Fnatic, because my 3-year contract's ending with the next year. Ending in another year like this. My mid jungle, like, my experience with our mid jungle in Fnatic in the past 2 years has been that they've been straight dysfunctional. And I'm somewhat sick and tired of it, right? That's why I stepped in, and I was looking for, together with, of course, the opinion of my other fellow players. So yes, whilst Reckless did express his opinion on what mid laner we should get, he didn't demand Niski to show up. Let's kill that illusion off immediately. That did not happen. It was as simple as this. I prefer Perks, I then prefer Niski, and then I prefer the third option. And it's that simple.
It was the third option leader?
That was Reckless' take. No, it was me.
No way, come on.
It was me playing mid lane.
I actually, yeah, I mean,
Listen,
I feel like that
I don't
makes
need
sense.
to find you out of the team, mate, but that's just too blatant. Like, you know, keep it fucking realistic. So you went, I either want Perks, I want Niski, who's available, or you know what, fuck it, let Bwipo play mid lane. Who gives a fuck at this point? I mean, yeah, I'll definitely be here next year, yeah, so I care a lot, so I need the 3. That's fine. Like,
Actually,
say, like, what do you want for dinner? Fucking...
No, I actually suggested...
Caviar, like a normal meal or some dog shit. It's like, well, I have to take a fucking normal meal. Like, it's the ridiculous options. What is that?
No, I actually... comes to the problem, our mid jungle was dysfunctional, and most people are like, oh, it's like about the view of the game, but no. I'll give you an example of something that happened this year. Is that and I won't name names, but for example, you know, it's no surprise LS and Nemesis, you know, they hate Renekton. You know, Renekton's a terrible champion.
I love Renekton.
Terrible champion.
I love both those.
I know you do. You're a jungler. Selfmade loves Renekton too. But the point is that you know, when your mid jungle disagrees on what champion is strong, it's very difficult for me to use that champion, because my mid laner thinks it's not even worth, like, my mid laner thinks it's not worth getting my champion ahead, because I'm like, again, the point is like, even like, I can't even enter those discussions. Like, I can't even reach that point, because we've already reached a point of so much disagreement and so much, like, I don't want to use the, like,
yeah, the energy.
I don't know. It's not, I want to use like a bad word for it, but it's not that bad. It's just like, there's so much discord, so much, I don't know, vitriol towards a certain champion that I don't even want to try and like get someone to understand.
It's gone
like,
too far. You can't pull it back at that point in time.
Exactly. I can't be like, hey, Renekton's good in these situations. It's like, no, Renekton's just a useless champion, always bad, always terrible. And it's like, that's the easy way of doing it, right? And I'm not trying to put words in Nemesis's mouth here. What I'm trying to say is that it's very difficult for a bottom lane, like for example, ours, to be like, hey, we want to play a super lane dominant lane that doesn't scale. When you're playing with a mid laner that thinks scaling is the way, the number one reliable way to win, and you have
not all
a
be on
jungler
the same page, obviously. Yeah, exactly.
basically only gives it, like, let me put it this way, like, very much stereotype crabs and raptors.
Do you watch people on Crackdown? No. Do you agree with what he thinks Fnatic problems were? No. No, I can't give you any ideas. I don't do that. I don't do those things. It's super unprofessional. I don't know. I don't go to public and talk shit about other people from my team.
Response to Nemesis accusations? Let me think. I don't think I made any accusations from things that you couldn't tell from a gameplay perspective. I was very careful in making sure that the criticism I gave to him was something that was visible from the official games being played. That said, I can understand that people don't feel like that was appropriate. So all I can say is I might have been in the wrong with releasing my opinion, but I don't think my opinion was built on things that people didn't already know. I made sure not to share the opinion of things that people couldn't have guessed. what's the point? I mean, I commented on content that was available to everyone. That's what I did. Was that necessary? Maybe not. Maybe it was pointless, sure. But, you know, sometimes you talk about something and you regret talking about it. Opinion on Nemesis versus Niski on Fnatic? It's a stylistic change. We'll see how it works out, right? Like, I think our whole lineup changed with Reckless leaving as well, so I think our entire idea of this team will change significantly, and we'll see how that evolves, right? I think Hylissang and Upset are gonna spend a lot of time perfecting their 2v2 and making sure that they're very strong in the 2v2, so we're gonna have to see what's going to happen there. And depending on how well that goes, or how poorly that goes, and how they feel and how they develop, I think is how Fnatic will develop their style. And I imagine that Niski and Selfmade are going to talk a lot about the mid 2v2 as well. Depending on how those things pan out, our style will be different.